I'm gonna say, I know my connection is working, it's just not showing me prompts anymore for whatever reason. It shows them on my other character, which means there's some glitch associated with this save file. And I was gonna load my save from the cloud that didn't have that glitch, but I didn't want to go back. I was kind of hoping it would just fix itself, but nothing in programming ever fixes itself. As long as it's working, that's all I care.
Yo.
How's it going?
Who just playing Neo?
Oh, you're still up?
Yay. I woke up like 4 hours ago.
I was gonna send you a message to help me test my internet connection, because I couldn't summon people. Every time I try and... Jesus Christ, that's so loud. No, let me go! Like an hour ago, I ended my stream because I couldn't seem to summon people or be summoned. But I can be summoned. It just doesn't show the prompts or anything anymore. And I can't seem to summon people into like my own chalices and stuff like that. I don't know why. It happened literally over the past 2 hours. I started the stream with the game working perfectly fine. And then I put my small resonant bell up while I was doing ROM. And the prompt, I think, triggered while I was going into the cutscene for ROM. Like the cutscene with the lady. And I think because it teleported me to that entrance to Yahargul, it glitched out my fucking summoning. That's the only explanation I can have for it, because like you can see at the bottom of the screen, it doesn't show searching for the chime of a beckoning bell like randomly anymore. It doesn't put the little pop-up message. It stopped doing that around 2 hours ago after I beat ROM. So I don't know if my character is like permanently unable to summon people.
Weird.
So if you get off Neo for a second or whatever, let me know. Because I'd like for you to at least like take 5 minutes to try and get summoned into my game. At least just to see if the summoning still works and it's just the prompt that's glitched out. Because the weird part is when I get summoned into a world like this, it'll still show like the, a bell ringing woman rings a sinister bell, but it won't show the searching for the chime of a small resonant bell when you're just walking around with the beckoning bell up. You know how it puts the pop-up message like every 30 seconds or so just to let you know it's active? Mine stopped doing that. So whenever you get done what you're doing, whatever level or something, let me know. See, it shows that one regularly. It's
My
just
PS now ran out, so I couldn't help, although I would.
Oh. Damn. I mean, at least it's connecting now. I waited like 15, 20 minutes to be summoned earlier, and that's when I started to suspect something was up. But it's like I said, I'm only going to be playing it for a couple more days anyways, so if my character permanently glitches out, it's not going to have that big of a deal, because it's probably not going to get played ever again. And I don't mean that because I dislike Bloodborne, I just never go back to playthroughs once I stop doing them. I'm not a year and a half from now randomly going to go, Bloodborne, 4th playthrough, episode 34. Just out of nowhere. I just start a new character. What the fuck? Just get off of it.
Yet I am not buying a game on PS4 after Neo 2 most likely.
something like good comes out. I mean, I'm not getting a PS5 on launch. You know that there's going to be software problems. You want to wait at least 3 months in. That guy's using the rifle. You can't parry with the rifle. I don't even remember how to get out of here. It's definitely not this way. Yeah, he went the right way. This is that super slow guy that I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't want to spend money on anything on the PS4 since PS5 is coming out.
Yeah, but a PS4 isn't going to be rendered instantly obsolete.
I'd rather wait those 3 or so months and buy it on the PS5.
Oh yeah, but that's implying that games that are cross PS4 and PS5 don't require you to buy a different version of the game. Like, I highly doubt they're not going to make games like Bloodborne be able to run on PS5. These games are Sony's bread and butter when it comes to actual exclusives. Granted, it's not Sony's bread and butter when it comes to what people play most, but I'm sure that there are a lot of people who want it to be that way as well. It's not like the PS5 is going to be using drastically different architecture than the PS4. You wouldn't have to emulate them, is what I'm saying. They're not going to use a different file system or anything, as far as I know anyways. We were just in that bonus zone. That's a secondary door into the bonus zone. We want to go this way. Oh, it's not glitched out. Cool. Never mind.
Damn, the mysterious samurai is no joke. Took me 6 tries just now, lol.
Are you just talking about Shima Sakon? Wait, where the fuck is that guy going? What do you think you're going? That is not the right way. I'm sorry, but no. You go that way, that's the wrong way, bud. Well, that's what you get for letting an idiot lead.
If that's his real name, then yeah.
Yeah, it's the same boss that you fight on another level, just with different moves. It's the lightning dog guy. Or not lightning dog, sorry. Lightning lion.
Yeah, he has a lot more fun to fight here than on that mission he has in. But his other fight is way easier. Well, fine then. This other guy's a fucking dumbbell. Not only did he lead the host in the wrong direction, he didn't even bother to try and go to the switch. It's like they both were like, this guy knows where to go. He'll just go flip the switch for us. And I'm just like, what? Dunkle dun, dun, dunkle dun. Neither of these two. Oh my god, the flames, dude. I have my frames back.
the master wears the student clothing because the master always has something to learn. You act like 6 tries, though, is a lot of tries for a boss. When that guy came out, there were people that took him several hours to beat him. Or that took them several hours to beat him. I know English. Wow, even without the prompts, I feel like I'm connecting even faster now than I was before. This is like Neo summons. If you ever wondered why Neo has a timeout function, that's the reason why Bloodborne takes 5 minutes to connect people sometimes and has a prioritization system where Wi-Fi will be deprioritized over wired in and stuff like that. Neo doesn't care. It either connects you or it doesn't. It doesn't give you an in-between. The second an error or something occurs, it lets you know. Something From Software could learn a little from. That's why in Neo you can connect to people that have way worse connections, and it will actually work somewhat. Forgot that I need to crush those. Every once in a while, or else I build up too many in my inventory. How much damage was his saw cleaver hitting for a hit? 600? You must have 27+% gems in that thing. I wish I could get some 27%ers. I think I only have 126. Nothing does some poopy baby damage to those guys. Why do I even have it? Did I ever repair my Ludwigs? No, I didn't, because I'm a fucking idiot. Kerplack.
Midgets are people too.
Yeah. Midget people. Oh my god, Hunter v Hunter combat in Bloodborne. So easy a caveman could do it.
Racist, LOL, just kidding.
It's typist. You're the one that wanted to come here.
This mission is fucking insane. I haven't done the last Neo DLC in years.
That's a lie.
Resentment Unleashed is pretty cursy. What are you fighting, Hyro?
He's playing Neo 1's DLC. Which Neo 2 is supposed to not be as overtuned as. But so far, the only case where it wasn't was in the alpha. The alpha and the beta had forearms in them, but they were so much easier to deal with because you could flip. Now you can't flip them to death. You can't do what you could do in the beta to those fuckers and just demolish them.
The forearm things.
Wow, this co-op, dude. Even earlier when it was working, it was taking like 5 minutes in between a summon, and now it's like I load back and put the cup up and I can't even walk away and grab a water before I get summoned again.
Neo 1 is still harder.
Nah. Neo 1 has Discord in it.
Fuck those things. The only thing worse is the demonic flying turkey thing.
Well, quick and easy tit for ya. Shoot it in the face. If you can't manage to discord it, just shoot it in its dumb face. And always make sure to block after any combo. Because if he does a spin, if you block, you won't get hit by damage. Well, at least the full hit of the damage. You'll still get hit by a little bit of elemental. Neo 1 is so much easier though. Neo 2 discording doesn't work. Confusion, whatever you want to call it, applying 2 elements at once. Neo 2 does not have, oh, use a Guardian Spirit Talisman and the enemy gets instantly knocked over and loses all of its ki. Neo 2 doesn't have those kinds of things. Neo 2 was functionally made harder throughout its development cycle than Neo 1 ever will be. Neo 2 is fundamentally harder just because it's not that they took away your ability to control monsters, they just made it a lot harder. So a lot of the time in Neo 2, and this is the case, you probably already realized it in the trial and in the beta, that basically you will kill an enemy before you get to use its mechanics against it. Like in Neo 2, for example, right? You can't just walk
Neo 2
up.
will be only playable by like 10% of the people who buy it, lol.
For example, in Neo 1, the yokai, the yoki you meet in Mission 1, for a new player, that yoki is like a boss. For an experienced player just walks up to it in high stance, goes, lol, I have a quick attack button, and goes, it breaks the horns. You do the level 1 draw strike to do 1,000 damage with like a basic starter katana, and then you turn around and final blow it and it's almost dead. In Neo 2, you can't walk up to a yoki and bop the horns and the thing falls down onto the ground in a state. That literally is the crux of what makes Neo 1 so much easier for people who know what the fuck they're doing. Neo 2, that doesn't apply to. I forgot that there was... Oh, shit! That spawned in the amount of time I ran back to her? So it literally is just proximity based and they just pop in. It's not even like a timer. It's like as soon as you walk far enough away from it, it spawns in.
Everyone will give up on the 4th or so boss.
No, you're forgetting the fact that Neo allows you to double co-op. And that people like me are going to be playing the game. Look at what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, the Dustin. Lol.
Double parry. My boy. Parry.
Some people are stubborn though and will not play the game if they can't beat it solo.
How it do, baby? The guy booted me out of his game.
Dustin is clearly part of the 10% who will beat it on day 1 LOL and start making no damage boss kill bits.
Who the fuck do you think I am? I didn't even do that for all of the bosses in Bloodborne. What makes you think I'm going to do it for Neo if I didn't do it for Neo 1? I did that with all of the bosses in Neo 1 on stream. I did them without taking any damage, but that was quote-unquote without taking any damage because I used protection talismans back when they were stupidly overpowered when you had good magic, and I think they absorbed like 8,000 to 10,000 damage or something crazy like that. You could literally get that plus the effect on the boots that was bonus after purification nullify damage. And when that effect came out, that effect also lasted 30 seconds. And that was basically a mini protection talisman that also nullified damage by 100%. So you could... There was a period of time when Neo was like new and stuff like that before I like went through all the Abyss and all that other stuff. It got nerfed about a quarter of the way of me going through the Abyss, and I had to change some of my gear. And that's when I changed most of my gear over to increase attack, because they nerfed the defensive stuff in Neo 1 incredibly. Because you could literally walk through Way of the Wise, Way of the Neo, by putting weaken melee weapons, devigorate talisman, wind, and using nullify damage after purification, when surrounded, increased defense, and you could literally make your defense, I think it was like 22 or 23,000 or something like that. You could become invulnerable. And on top of that, you literally had an invulnerability shield, which took damage based off of your defense. So with really high defense in combination with the enemy dealing absolutely no fucking damage whatsoever, you could literally just sit there and stand in front of a boss for probably like 5 to 10 minutes straight, as long as it wasn't one that could shred your buffs off. Because even if it debuffed you, the debuff would not even be remotely close to enough to outweigh your buffs. So especially with like Way of the Strong or Way of the Demon, before they introduced the buff shredding effect, you could just stand in front of bosses for people and just be basically a meat shield. Because bosses in Neo don't attack people based off of how much damage they do. It's mostly a proximity thing. Whereas in Bloodborne, it's a damage thing. If you damage the boss, it'll attack you. Versus if another person damages the boss, it'll immediately turn around mid-animation and attack them. That's just how Bloodborne and Souls games work, but that's not how Neo works. And that's why sometimes you can be helping a person, and if the boss aggroes on another person off the beginning, it won't de-aggro from them for at least 5 to 10 seconds sometimes. And you'll just be chasing after the boss, trying to deal damage to it, trying to get it to turn around, but it doesn't turn around based off of damage. It's not programmed that way. I really hope that guy kicking me out of his game didn't glitch out my connection. Taters, are you still in my chat? If so, can you like load up Bloodborne or something if you still have it installed? I want to see if I can summon people. Because I had this glitch earlier where I could not summon people. It would say, discovered the chime of a small resonant bell.
Sure.
But then people would never show up. So... Do you have a character that's like all the way through the Chalice dungeons? Or at least like part of the way through the Chalice dungeons so I can summon you? Since apparently this... I'm not getting any more instant connections.
I have one that did all of them except Ish.
Why except is? If it's because you have a hard time beating a Breedis, I can show you a very easy way to beat her. And I don't mean that as in like, oh, it's super easy. It's so easy a caveman could do it. No, I mean, you still have to be able to dodge a little bit. But it's the head bait, the head slam bait with Ludwig's. Where she'll do a head slam attack, and if you step like, it's like 6 or 7 steps backwards, you just kind of got to get the feel for it. And then press R2, she'll land her head perfectly in front of your character right as the charge attack comes out. And you'll hit with oil urn and file paper. Fire paper.
I had all the gems I wanted, so I didn't bother.
Oh, apparently you didn't need triangles then, because you only get good triangle gems out of chalices. You get waning from Lauren, and then you get the radials from Thumeru. But yeah, just let me know when you're loaded in on a character.
So where do I go for your summon thingy?
Oh. Hold on. Is this a is? No. Go to that altar where I'm standing in my game, the first altar. And I'm going to have you put in a password. We'll use Hyro's password. Rat. R-A-T, rat. No capital. See, I didn't copy 100%. Rat. You're a dirty rat.
Lol.
Hello? Doorway? There we go. I don't even know if it's going to show the... Oh, it showed the pop-up message. Is it going to show it several times, though? So go to network and put the password rat in, and then go to that altar and go co-op search for beckoning bell, or whatever it is. The middle the middle option. Yeah, see what I was saying? It doesn't show the pop-up reoccurring on my screen. It's like glitched out or some shit. Are you searching?
It is still searching. IV never fought on Meraki legit LOL. IVE always critical LW cheesed him. Let us see how many times I die.
Oh, man. I'm trying to see if my character's borked over here.
It is rat, no capitals, right?
Yeah, just R-A-T. Make sure you have it set to worldwide as well. If it doesn't work in another minute or two, like I said, I think I'm pretty borked. I don't know why. But if you can't connect to me, then I want to try connecting to you. Like I said, I'll give it another minute. Are you sure, like, with 100% certainty that the character you're using has been to layer 5 chalices? Like you have the Yarnum stone in your inventory and everything. I mean, I know you can't check while searching, but...
Yeah, I did a couple cursed ones, and the other day I did an Ebrietta's chalice because I am an idiot.
Well, here. Just place down any random chalice and I'll try to connect to you. Just click on this altar and just click Dungeon Quick Search and just load into whichever one pops up. And then put your beckoning bell up. Because I know I can co-op with random people, even though the message things don't work. But I can't seem to summon people anymore. Not that it really matters, I just wanted to know because my other character works fine. That's the weird part, is when I go on to like my other 268 character or whatever, that character works perfectly fine and the messages pop up normally. So it's not like my game install, it's just this character. This character is glitched. Because I went on to 2 or 3 other characters while like in between streams, just seeing if every single one was glitched out or not, and it's only this one. Tell me when you have your bell up. You don't have to go far into the chalice. You only have to walk a little bit in for it to count.
I had it like a minute ago.
And yours says searching for the chime of a small resonant bell with matching password. You didn't put up the small one on accident, because I do that sometimes. Because I could connect to Hyro fine the other day.
The regular beckoning bell.
Well, here, you stay in the chalice. I'm gonna try and go on one of my other characters. See, on this character, the pop-up still works on the bottom.
Damn, Omaraki is tough. It took me 810 tries, Jesus. You still have the bell up in the chalice, man? Yeah.
Are you sure you're not... Are you standing in a spot where there's a little X on the bell?
No.
Well, damn, what the fuck?
This is why I am surprised when you find people, cause I can never find anyone when I play this game.
Me and Hyro connected to each other fine for like a week fucking straight. I only just barely started having issues this morning at like fucking 1 o'clock. And ever since, I haven't been able to have consistent connection with people. You don't have it set to regional matchmaking or anything? Make sure it's... I mean, I know I already said it, but it needs to be worldwide. We aren't close enough. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Game's broken LOL.
I wonder if I can even connect to normal people anymore. Sorry, man. I mean, for like an hour, well, less than an hour, it was like for 45 minutes or 30 minutes it was working. And I would find a person every single time, and then it just hard cut and stopped working.
What are you doing?
Trying to get co-op to work to any extent. One of my character saves got glitched out, and now I can't seem to connect regularly anymore, even though I connected regularly for like a month straight. Passwords don't seem to work. Nothing seems to work anymore. Well, it's not like it makes a difference if the message prompt pops up or not. So that's clearly not the problem.
You should join a Bloodborne group. They're always online.
I know I don't have problems connecting with people. That's the thing that you're not realizing is I have been playing this for a month with no connection issues until literally 3 hours ago. And ever since then it's been getting worse. This character doesn't even show the prompts on the screen.
What level are you?
Level doesn't matter. At least not with passwords, which I already tried. But I'm level 308, but that has not mattered at all. I connect to people who are like level 100. People who say that level scaling matters for the Chalice co-op are wrong. In the base game it matters, but it does not matter for the Chalice thing. See, exactly. I don't know why I can't summon people, I can't use passwords, I can't connect to another person, but I can fucking co-op with random people in Chalices. I don't know why. I don't know what happened to my game. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Taters, if you still have Bloodborne open, take your password off and just use your beckoning bell and see if you get any random summons, including me. If I get summoned into your world randomly, but I can't get summoned into your world with a password, then there must be something fucked up.
Still have it on and nothing.
Did you take the password off?
Yes.
guy. You're one of the only people I can connect to.
Other guy might need to exit and re-enter, then con.
He literally had freshly opened up the game just for me. Taters. And so did I, because I closed my game an hour, or like an hour and a half ago. I like completely shut off my PS4 and unplugged it. And then plugged it back in like 30 seconds later. I did like the full everything. I even power cycled my modem. I have NAT type 2.
I also got shoved into a cursed chalice, go figure, lol.
I never had this many issues in Monster Hunter connecting to people who are in fucking China. It's sad when I can connect to people in Asian countries better in another game than I can connect to people in my own country in this game. I also can't summon people, like I said. It just never works. It'll say, discovered the chime of a small resonant bell, and it will play the sound effect as if they're going to get summoned, and then it just hard cuts. It's as if people are being like auto-silenced out of my game upon entering when I'm not doing anything. Because like I said, I can connect to random people in chalices just fine, but I can never seem to summon anyone anymore. Are you serious?
At least I found one person, lol.
You did?
John, are you still here? Do you have this game? Well, I mean, obviously you have this game, but I mean, like, do you have the ability to play it at the moment? Did you want to see if you could connect to me with a password? I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. I mostly just play these games to co-op anyways. To be the co-op E, not the co-op. I'm normally not the host, I'm normally the guy being summoned. So, I mean, as long as that part works, I'm fine. It's just weird to me that all of a sudden I'm unable to summon people. No clue. Stop doing that.
Welcome. Very well, let me.
I almost feel like I need to, like, cycle my character's new game again. Or something. If that would even fix whatever the problem is. Probably not. Like I said, it's not like anything I've gotten has been that big of a difference anyways, so I just don't care. I'll just re-download my old save and see if that works later on. There's a skunk outside. Oh, that smells. Awesome. Fucking skunks, dude. Hell no.
What is he?
That's bad. Here, let's see. If I can find a person before I complete this floor. I doubt it. This thing better not have a Lauren Dark Beast as the final boss. No, why would you... No worms, please. Thank you. See, it doesn't even display the prompt on my screen ever. It does on my other characters, though. But that doesn't mean anything. My other character couldn't find a person in the Chalice dungeons, but this one could. It doesn't, like I said, Bloodborne's connections never make any sense. People who actually are able to have a, like me, I was just lucky. Apparently I was just lucky for that month to not have connection problems in this game. People who say that skunk, like the smell of a skunk smells like weed, they're fucking insane. And trust me, that's coming from someone who smoked quite a lot of weed. If your skunks in your area smell like actual weed, then that skunk has health problems and is not eating a proper diet. To me, the smell of a skunk smells like someone like diced an onion and threw it into a rotting fish. But not just like any onion, like the stinkiest, fucking gnarliest, almost garlicky onion that you could find. Yeah, I just can't summon. I don't know why.
Rotting fish. Delicious.
What in the hell? It just loops? Bleh. Stop! The fucking spiders are the worst enemies in the entire game. I just hate their hitboxes so much. I have no problem dealing with the shit that everyone calls the hard shit to deal with. But I have every problem in the world trying to deal with those enemies. See, it only says it when I do it the first ring. It only says it then. It doesn't continue saying it. It would have triggered another message right about now if it was working properly. What? It's not gonna do what it did earlier though, right? The fog gate. All of a sudden it's working. Okay. I officially have no words to explain this game's connection system.
No.
Is this you, Taters? You're the kind of person I'd imagine who'd have a self-deprecating character name. Kind of like Hyro. Except for now, Hyro just calls himself Rat Everything. The only type of rat he doesn't call himself is Ratfink, because Ratfink is too old school for Hyro. Hyro has no idea what Ratfink is. That's the original cool rat. Look it up.
WTF is a ratfink.
It's not is a Ratfink. It's what is Ratfink. It's an artist who made a type of drawing characterized by the style in which it's drawn. And the first thing that he got popularized with that style was a rat. And the nickname was Ratfink. RF. Ratfink. Run, run, run. Thanks. Thanks, dude. Thanks a whole lot. Thanks. Thanks, man. There's no elevator there. What a shitty cooperator. Out of all the people I had to get, I had to be put on the shitty cooperator list. I think that's the problem. I probably got put on some weird blacklist or whatever for doing something.
It's alright. I was just using that to see if I could even get someone to connect to me. Apparently I can get connections, and apparently I can connect to people. It's just only specific ones. Only Hyro, apparently. Hyro just happened to be one of the lucky people that my internet would let me connect to. Emil also... It was weird because a year and a half ago I played Bloodborne with Emil, and me and him connected just fine for like the hour or two that we played together. And then we couldn't connect anymore when we tried to play the other day. Just so weird. They need to do another server reset like they did a couple weeks ago. I know they only do them every month, but there's been a lot... I mean, there's a lot of people who still play this game regularly. That helps me relax a little bit, though. Knowing that it's just a visual glitch with my character's save data. It's not literally online. You can't... No one can connect to me at... Absolutely no one could connect to me, sort of thing. Because I would hate that. Again, it's not that I value being able to summon people. As you're probably aware, I very rarely summon people when I do bosses because I actually don't like the way that bosses play in multiplayer a lot of the time. Abridus is so much easier to do solo. Bloodletting Beast is so much easier to do solo. Amygdala is way easier to do solo. They're only easier to do in multiplayer if you, for whatever reason, don't understand the way that they want you to fight those monsters. If you don't understand that their head is a giant fucking weak point, and if you take advantage of the couple attacks that put their head, you can kill them in like less than 45 seconds. Sometimes even shorter than that. Abridus, if she gives you the god RNG where you walk in and she does the head slam right off the beginning, and you oil-earned her right as she walked up to you. Because yes, I don't use bolt paper on Abridus because it's not as much damage as using oil-earn plus fire paper. On her head, specifically. On her body, bolt is better, if I remember correctly, but not on her head. The exposed open head area is way weaker to fire and oil-earn put together. I could hit 3,700 to 4,000 damage with the Ludwig's charge attack. I could only hit like 3,200 or like close to 3,000 with the bolt paper.
Tachibana is a sexy beast.
Why are you a weirdo? Stop being a weirdo. Go look up Ratfink, like I told you. I used to have a Ratfink t-shirt when I was younger, but I actually don't.
Tiger sprinted while I quick draw in X. Also, I saw the character.
It's the best rat. That's the giant rat that makes all of the rules. You don't want to see what kind of trouble he'll get into. A little bit of the way that like Crash Bandicoot is kind of like stylized is almost after like Ratfink in a way, with the way that the mouth and the tongue and stuff is very cartoony. Of course, it's like cartoony things, but Even though Crash is not a rat, he in the earlier games when they didn't have as many polygons, he kind of does look like a fucking rat with no shoulders that's just walking on his hands and feet, anthropomorphized or whatever it is, anthropomorphized. All furry jokes aside and everything that you could make, I wonder if there is actually a planet in a galaxy out there that does have people that are basically humans, but we're just a very similar creature to something on Earth that evolved in that had like a certain evolutionary change in it that allowed it to evolve into this kind of form. Because this kind of form just will naturally come over time as you grow as an intelligent species and you stand upright more as you begin to build stuff, basically. Oh, shit. That's at least the theory anyway. Sorry, I'm just taking a break real quick. The theory isn't exactly the greatest, though. Because normally it would require you to already have had some kind of features like it. But again, most features on animals evolve out of small things that earlier like versions of creatures began to do, like something that dug in the ground like a mole where it has no eyes. It probably didn't start out not really having that big of eyes. It probably started out looking more like a normal rodent. But through years of doing the same task, you get the epigenetics where it's like, oh, they developed bigger front, like, paws to push the soil out of the way so they could just move through it. And shit like that. Most people are witness to this evolutionary change in our lifetimes. It's just people don't like to accept that as reality a lot of the time. For example, lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerant people were the norm. Like, lactose intolerance only became a medical condition because more people became used to lactose because they drank milk. But the natural state of a human, you're supposed to lose that part of your body which makes the lactase, which breaks down the lactose in the milk. And turns it into a sugar that your body can use. If you wanted to know what it is, it's just a complex sugar. And you know how they make lactose-free milk? They just add lactase to it. Until they can't detect the lactose anymore. And it's why some people say that lactose-free milk can taste a little bit more sugary. Because the sugar is pretty much already broken down. Versus like whole milk, which has a much more richer, like, milk fat taste to it.
It's not sweet tasting in a way. Because once the lactose gets broken down into a glucose, and I can't remember, I think it's lactic acid or whatever is the other component of lactose, or something like that. May not be lactic acid, but I know it splits the chemical into two, like basic chemical forms, one being glucose and something else that I can't remember at the moment. Which then your body absorbs that glucose and turns it into glycogen, which is what your body uses for energy, specifically your brain. But a lot of things get broken down into sugars. You'd be surprised. But anyways, I derailed myself off of what my point was. My point was just the fact that there are people who aren't lactose intolerant is an evolutionary trait. We have evolved that through people doing it through so many generations and eating cheese and eating dairy products. We eventually developed not necessarily a resistance, because a resistance would imply that our body doesn't use it properly, like insulin and stuff like that, but that's not how that works. I can't think off the top of my head because my brain ain't thinking that well today. But we are living in a time when people are evolving. You wouldn't be able to eat a lot of cheeses, or you wouldn't be able to drink milk or anything like that. You pretty much wouldn't be able to have a lot of dairy products if it wasn't for the fact that people in your family evolved the trait of using dairy on a regular basis. And the more you do that, like people who are lactose intolerant, the reason why they get lactose intolerant normally is because not only do they stop like taking in a lot of dairy regularly, but they also have something in their body that stops the production, like I said, of the enzyme. In order for your body to want to continue to producing that enzyme, you kind of have to eat something that wouldn't exactly digest well. It's kind of like how people always complain with like a high fiber diet making you gassy. But that only happens once you just change over to a high fiber diet. Because unless you have like completely destroyed gut bacteria, they'll eventually adjust to it. The same thing happens with like Jerusalem artichoke, even though I don't tend to like the flavor of them a whole lot. They kind of don't taste like a whole lot. Jerusalem artichoke aren't even an artichoke. So don't get its name mixed up. You don't eat the part of... It's not even like the same kind of species. It's a completely different type of plant. You eat the tubers in the ground. It grows these like root nodules, and they produce like a ton in a tiny area. They're like a food security thing in places in the south where the ground doesn't freeze, because you can just dig them up at any time of the year and they'll be crispy. You can't really take them out of the ground and store them well. They have to be kept in the ground for whatever reason. And anyways. But it's also just like diets. Not every single person is meant to eat vegetables as a healthy diet. That's not healthy to people who don't have proper digestive enzymes to break down certain vegetable fibers. Otherwise, they'll have indigestion for hours on end, and their body will basically be sitting there getting almost nothing out of the food that they ate. Me being native, I can do a little bit of both. I can eat meat and vegetables. Vegetables? I can't even replicate my speech there. But I can eat both meat and vegetables pretty regularly without having a lot of digestion problems.
I'm gonna head out. Emoji happy tears.
Have a good one, man. I'm probably only gonna play for like another...
see you later or tomorrow or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably only gonna play for like another hour or so.
Did Neo 2 start downloading for you?
Oh, I haven't checked. I don't have anything set to auto download.
Aylmer just let me know on PSN messages. ILL see ya.
Have a good one. Peace out. You can still smell the fucking skunk out there. can only smell them because it's not freezing out. It's like slightly above freezing. For whatever reason, if it's freezing out, you can only smell them from like a much shorter radius. I guess it's because the cold weather makes the actual smell sink or something like that, and it doesn't like get all over the place. Whoops. God.
Alright, I'll be back later. Have a good one. Peace out.